So after doing my prequel trilogy list, you guys heavily demanded that I do my original trilogy. If you didn't see my top 10 characters from the prequel trilogy, go and check that out. I'm going to be using the same rules for this list, which means that if there's a character that appears in multiple trilogies, I can only choose that character for one list. I'm also keeping it up to 10 characters, and I'm not limiting myself to just the movies. I'm also taking characters from Rebels and Solo and Rogue One. I would take characters from other like books and comics, but I don't really read much books or comics. Anyway, starting out with number 10, Jyn Erso. So this might seem kind of surprising for you guys since Rogue One wasn't really a movie that was known for its strong characters, but I really liked this character in Jyn Erso. She overcome a lot of adversity and things that involved her father as well. And I also liked Rogue One overall. If you haven't checked my movie about why Rogue One is good, go check it out. But yeah, I really like Jyn Erso from that movie. Number 9, the one and only Lando Calrissian, classic character, like a Black Han Solo, but his own character. I really like his how his character was uh, was performed by Billy D. Williams, and I think Donald Glover also did a really good job. Um, yeah, super charismatic, flashy, cool guy. Number 8, Canon Jarrus. This might also be a surprising one, considering that it's from a quote quote kids show. But I really like this character from the show. In my opinion, he was the best character from Rebels. Um, yeah, he was one of the bright spots from that show because the first two seasons were all right. After that, it kind of went downhill. But I'm glad they included him. If you've never seen Rebels, Kanan Jarrus is just a Jedi that survived Order 66. So 7, again, Ahsoka Tano. This might be surprising too, considering that she was mainly in the Clone Wars. But I thought I really liked her better in Rebels. I don't know why. She was just more mature, more knowledgeable, if that's a word. And she's also a strong female character. One of the best examples. Uh, when people say that, when people say that, when others are saying that people are hating on a female character because she's female, is completely wrong. For the most of the time, they're hating on her because, for example, Rey from the sequel trilogy, she's just a bad character, horribly developed, no, so many unlikable qualities. But when you have characters like Ahsoka Tano and Princess Leia, you don't hear anybody complaining. You know why? Because they're great characters, and Ahsoka Tano is just one of those examples. I'm also really excited to see her in other forms of media from Star Wars. I know she's going to be in Mandalorian this year, and I hope she gets a show of her own because she's one of the best characters in Star Wars in my opinion. All right, going to number 6, Chewbacca. I mean, what do I really say about this character? He's been around since the original trilogy. Um, just funny, likable. I seriously thought he died in the sequel trilogy in Rise of Skywalker. I'm not gonna lie, I got sad, really sad, because they killed him off screen. But he didn't die, thank God. Yeah, not really much to say. I mean, if you watch Star Wars, and I don't really have to say anything, you know what I mean. Number 5, another strong female character that I really liked, Princess Leia. Again, legacy characters. Um, I liked her arc. I just wish this doesn't have anything to do with the original trilogy, but I just wish she didn't die first of all, because Episode 9 was supposed to be about her, and they did what they could with the deleted scenes that they had with her, but it just wasn't the same. Very unfortunate. But yeah, Princess Leia, one of my favorite characters. I even she's been one of my favorites since the beginning. I remember watching Episode 4, and top three characters absolutely were Luke, Han, and Princess Leia. I I liked her just as much as I liked Luke. Anyway, number 4, the one and only Han freaking Solo. Most of these characters, these legacy characters, not really much to say about them. Just they're just great characters, well written. Han Solo is one of those characters that were very well written. One interesting thing though, Harrison Ford hated playing uh, Han Solo. He completely despised Star Wars. It took a lot of money for them to get him back for Episode 7, but regardless, he did a great job with Han. Yeah, funny character, likable. It's like a guy you want to root for. It's like a sibling that has bad habits, but you still love them, and that's Han right there. And that's who he is as a character, and I haven't ranked at number 4. All right, number 3, Yoda. So people were surprised that I didn't put Yoda in my prequel trilogy list, but you know what? I just like this version of Yoda way better. In my opinion, Yoda from the prequels, he's more of like a commander, like a general. You see more of the combative side of Yoda. Except in the Clone Wars. The Clone Wars kind of dives more deep into his wisdom and stuff. But I think the version that we got in the original trilogy, I preferred it. I preferred it way better because of he was like more of a mentor, more knowledgeable. Here I go again with the word knowledgeable, more wisdom. Uh, yeah, and it just seemed like he I don't know, he was just different in the original trilogy, like an old grandpa, with lots of advice and wisdom, and I mean he trained Luke too. So yeah, I have Yoda at number 3. Coming in number 2. Okay, so just like in my prequel list, number 2 and number 1 honestly could be the same. I was having a hard time picking between one or the other, but without further ado, number 2, Darth freaking Vader. The best, hands down, the best, one of the best, top 3 best villains in all of cinematic history. Now, I'm not gonna lie, in the original trilogy, he was scary, yes, but we have to admit, he was very slow and kind of non-threatening with his saber skills. But thankfully, we have other pieces of content like Rebels and Rogue One that really demonstrated how powerful this character is. Um, yeah, I just design everything. He's also Anakin Skywalker. Uh, but he is Anakin Skywalker, but he's not. That's why I included him in the list twice. Uh, yeah, one of my favorite characters of all time. A few honorable mentions. Hera from Rebels. I really liked her as well. Grand Moff Tarkin. Only reason I didn't put him on this list is that he was only in one movie for a few scenes, but he was so scary and threatening. I also have Boba Fett. Big reason why I didn't put him on this list is because he's not really much of a character. He's just a piece of armor that walks around and looks cool. And then I have Tobias Beckett from Solo. I really like that character. And it's a trap. Admiral Akbar. Uh, Rip. Rest in peace, Akbar. He should have been the one to sacrifice himself. But we'll get to the sequel trilogy in a different video. All right. Last but not least, you probably know who it's gonna be. But Luke freaking Skywalker, my favorite character from the original trilogy, all the way from Episode 4 to Episode 6. Listen carefully. Episode 4 to 6. 4 to 6. That's Luke Skywalker. That's the Luke I know. I love this character. I related with him a lot. Kind of like not an underdog, but a kid coming from a desert planet and rising up to destroy the Empire and redeem his father. Admirable arc. I just he was very well written. I love this character, honestly. If you were to ask me who is my favorite character in all of Star Wars, I don't know. I might pick him, but Yeah, I mean, he's another legacy character. So if you guys watch Star Wars on a regular basis, you know what I'm talking about. All right, that was my top 10 characters from the original trilogy era. Let me know what you guys thought. Agree, disagree. Uh, if you want me to do the sequel trilogy, I don't know how I do that one, to be honest. I don't have a lot of favorite characters from that trilogy. But nevertheless, let me know if I should, and I'll catch you guys later.